The ancient discovery. The deep space mining vessel Fortuna drifted through the outer reaches of the solar system, its massive drill arrays extending like metallic tentacles. Captain Maya Rodriguez stared at the holographic display, watching as their sensors picked up an anomaly that shouldn't exist. "Captain, you need to see this," called out her first officer, David Chen. "These readings, they're off the charts. There's something massive buried in the ice of Neptune's moon Triton." Maya leaned forward, her dark eyes narrowing. The scan showed a structure beneath the frozen surface, something artificial, something ancient. "How long has it been there?" "According to carbon dating, at least 50,000 years, David replied, his voice trembling with excitement. 3 months later, humanity's greatest secret lay exposed in the harsh light of Triton's artificial atmosphere dome. The alien warship stretched nearly 2 kilometers long, its obsidian hull gleaming with an inner light that defied explanation. Dr. Elena Petrov, Earth's leading xenorchaeologist, ran her gloved hand along the ship's surface. "It's remarkable," she whispered. "The technology is beyond anything we've encountered. Quantum crystalline matrices, zero-point energy systems, dimensional phase shifters." The scientific team worked tirelessly, documenting every aspect of the vessel. They discovered that it had belonged to a race known as the Architects, an ancient civilization that had vanished from the galaxy long before humans walked upright. The ship's systems were dormant but intact, waiting for the right technology to awaken them. Earth's governments agreed to keep the discovery classified. In secret facilities across the planet, the brightest minds worked to understand and replicate the alien technology. Progress was slow but steady. They learned to interface with the ship's neural networks, to harness its power systems, to comprehend its weapons arrays. 5 years passed before the consequences of their discovery caught up with them. Ambassador Victoria Hayes stood before the Galactic Council, her spine straight, despite the weight of countless alien gazes. The council chamber on Centauri Prime was a marvel of crystalline architecture, but she had no time to admire it. "The humans have violated the sacred edicts," thundered Prelate Zorkan, his 4 arms gesturing dramatically. "They have disturbed an architect relic. Such technology is forbidden." Victoria cleared her throat. "With respect, Prelate, we discovered the vessel within our own solar system. According to your own laws, anything found within a species' home system belongs to that species. You dare quote our laws to us?" The Krell representative's scales flushed purple with rage. "The architect technology transcends such petty territorial claims. It must be surrendered to the Council immediately." "I'm afraid that won't be possible," Victoria replied calmly. "The ship has already been integrated into our defense grid. Removing it would compromise Earth's security." The chamber erupted in outraged voices. The Council had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years, their power absolute. No species had ever defied them so openly. Prelate Zorkan raised his staff, silencing the assembly. "Then you leave us no choice. The Council hereby declares Earth a rogue world. You have 1 solar cycle to surrender the architect vessel or face the consequences." Victoria stood her ground. "Earth does not respond to threats. We will defend what is rightfully ours." Back on Earth, emergency sessions convened in every major capital. Military leaders updated defense protocols while scientists accelerated their research. Humanity had known this day might come. They had been preparing for years. Dr. Petrov worked feverishly in the underground complex beneath Mount Everest. "The ship's consciousness is awakening," she reported to General Harrison. "It's responding to our neural interfaces. We're close to full activation." "How close?" the general demanded. "Council forces are already massing at the edge of our system." "Days, maybe hours," Elena replied. "But there's something else. The ship, it's been waiting for us. The architects designed it to bond with a species like ours." "What do you mean?" Elena pulled up a holographic display showing complex neural patterns. "The ship requires operators with specific cognitive traits: adaptability, creativity, emotional depth. The architects built it for a younger race, one that could inherit their legacy. General Harrison nodded grimly. Then let's hope we're worthy of that inheritance. The Council fleet will be here in 36 hours. Across Earth, humanity mobilized like never before. Cities activated energy shields powered by reverse-engineered architect technology. Orbital defense platforms came online, their weapon systems humming with barely contained power. And on Triton, the ancient warship began to stir. Commander Sarah Chen led the team of human operators who would interface directly with the ship's consciousness. As they settled into the neural cradles, she felt the alien presence brush against her mind. Ancient, vast, but somehow welcoming. This is Commander Chen to Earth Command. We're beginning the activation sequence. The ship's systems came alive one by one. Lights pulsed along its hull in complex patterns. Deep within its core, engines that had slept for millennia began to generate power. The architect vessel rose from Triton's surface, shedding ice and rock like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. "My God," whispered Dr. Petrov, watching from the command center. "It's beautiful." The ship's consciousness merged with its human operators, sharing knowledge, purpose, understanding. Sarah gasped as information flooded her mind. Battle strategies, weapon specifications, the true history of the galaxy. Earth Command, this is Chen. The ship, it calls itself the Vigilant. It was built to protect younger species from the Council's tyranny. The architects knew this day would come. General Harrison's voice crackled over the comm. "Can you control it?" "We don't control it, sir. We work with it. And it's ready to fight." As the Council fleet approached Earth, they encountered something they hadn't expected: resistance. Human ships, enhanced with architect technology, met them at the edge of the solar system. The Vigilant led the charge, its weapons cutting through Council shields like they were made of paper. The battle for Earth's freedom had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Phoenix Protocol. The Council fleet emerged from hyperspace like a swarm of metallic locusts, their ships blotting out the stars. Admiral Catherine Walsh stood on the bridge of the Defiant, Earth's flagship, watching the tactical display with grim determination. Enemy fleet composition: 12 dreadnoughts, 37 cruisers, over 100 support vessels, reported her tactical officer. "They outnumber us 5-1. Quality over quantity, Lieutenant," Walsh replied. "Signal the Vigilant. It's time to show them what humanity can do." On the ancient warship, Commander Sarah Chen felt the ship's consciousness pulse with anticipation. The neural link had grown stronger over the past hours, and she could sense the Vigilant's eagerness to fulfill its purpose. "All systems optimal," reported her second-in-command, Lieutenant Marcus Webb. "The ship is excited? Is that the right word?" Sarah nodded. "It's been waiting 50,000 years for this moment." The Council fleet advanced in perfect formation, their weapons charging. Prelate Zorkin's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Humans, this is your final warning. Surrender the architect vessel and submit to Council authority." Admiral Walsh's response was swift and decisive. "This is Admiral Walsh of Earth Defense Force. You entered our system with hostile intent. You threatened our world. Now you'll face the consequences. All ships, engage." The Vigilant surged forward, its hull shimmering as it activated defensive systems humanity barely understood. Council weapons fire splashed harmlessly against its shields. Then the ancient warship returned fire. Beams of pure energy lanced out from the Vigilant's arrays, each shot precisely calculated. Council ship shields collapsed like soap bubbles. The dreadnought supremacy took a direct hit to its power core and erupted in a brilliant explosion. "Impossible," Zorkan roared. "No ship has that kind of power." But the Vigilant was just beginning. Sarah felt the ship's consciousness unfold, revealing capabilities they hadn't even discovered during their research. Miniature drones launched from hidden bays, each one carrying firepower equivalent to a human cruiser. The ship's hull reconfigured itself, adapting to the battle's flow. On Earth, Dr. Petrov monitored the battle from the command center. The ship is operating at only 60% capacity, she reported to General Harrison. It's still testing us, making sure we're worthy. What happens if it decides we're not? The general asked. Elena smiled. I don't think that's a concern. Look at the neural feedback patterns. The ship is impressed with human ingenuity. It's learning from us even as we learn from it. In space, the tide of battle shifted dramatically. The Council fleet, so confident in their numerical superiority, found themselves outmatched by the combination of architect technology and human tactical creativity. Admiral Walsh coordinated her forces with precision, using the Vigilant as a spearhead, while human ships exploited weaknesses in the enemy formation. Lieutenant Webb called out from his station on the Vigilant. Commander, the ship is suggesting the new strategy, something called the Phoenix Protocol. Sarah reached deeper into the neural link, understanding flooding her mind. It's a cascade effect. The ship can trigger a chain reaction in their power systems, but we need to get closer to their command ship. That's suicide, Webb protested. We'd be surrounded. Trust the ship, Sarah replied, and trust humanity. Admiral Walsh, requesting permission to execute Phoenix Protocol. Walsh's voice came through clear and strong. Permission granted. We'll cover your approach. The Vigilant accelerated toward the heart of the Council fleet, human ships forming a protective wedge around it. Council vessels concentrated their fire, desperate to stop the ancient warship's advance. The space around them became a storm of energy weapons and explosions. On the Council flagship, Prelate Zorkin watched in disbelief as his fleet crumbled. How can primitives wield such power? The architects were fools to leave their technology where these upstarts could find it. His science officer turned from her console, her face pale. Prelate, the energy signatures. The ship isn't just using architect technology. It's evolved. The humans have somehow improved upon it. Impossible. Not impossible, the officer replied. Just human. The Vigilant reached optimal range and initiated the Phoenix Protocol. A pulse of energy erupted from its core, washing over the Council fleet. Nothing happened for a moment. Then, one by one, Council ships began to experience cascading system failures. Power cores overloaded, shields collapsed, weapons arrays went offline. What's happening? Webb asked, watching the tactical display in amazement. Sarah smiled. The ship exploited a fundamental flaw in Council technology. They built their entire fleet on stolen architect principles, but they never truly understood them. We did. The battle turned into a rout. Council ships fled in disarray, many unable to jump to hyperspace due to system failures. The Supremacy drifted powerless, its crew frantically working to restore basic functions. Admiral Walsh opened a channel to the Council flagship. Prelate Zorkin, this is Admiral Walsh. Your fleet is defeated. Withdraw from our system immediately, or we will destroy what remains of your forces. There was a long pause before Zorkin responded, his voice heavy with defeat. This cannot be. The Council has ruled for 10 millennia. We are the supreme power in the galaxy. Walsh corrected. Things change. The galaxy has a new player now. Earth stands ready to defend not just ourselves, but any species oppressed by your regime. This is your only warning. Leave now, and tell your Council that humanity will not be intimidated. The remaining Council ships limped away, their formation broken, their pride shattered. On Earth, celebrations erupted as news of the victory spread. But in the command center, Dr. Petrov and General Harrison knew this was just the beginning. They'll be back, Harrison said, with a larger fleet. Elena nodded. But we'll be ready. The Vigilant is fully awakened now, and it's already showing us how to build more ships like it. The architects left us more than just a warship. They left us a blueprint for the future. On the Vigilant, Sarah Chen felt the ship's consciousness settle into a state of satisfaction. It had found worthy inheritors in humanity. Together, They would reshape the galaxy. "Commander," Webb said, "we're receiving signals. Dozens of them, from all over the galaxy. Other species are requesting our help. The Council has enemies everywhere." Sarah looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. "Then we have work to do. The Council's reign of terror ends now. Earth isn't just defending itself anymore. We're liberating the galaxy." The Vigilant turned toward deep space, its human crew ready for the challenges ahead. The ancient warship had awakened, and with it, humanity's destiny among the stars. The galaxy awakens. News of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. On 1,000 worlds, oppressed species watched in amazement as broadcasts showed Council ships fleeing from a single ancient warship and its human allies. Hope, long extinguished, began to kindle again. On the desert world of Sarka Prime, Resistance leader Vexera watched the battle footage for the 100th time. Her reptilian eyes narrowed as she studied the Vigilant's movements. "Send a message to Earth," she commanded her lieutenant. "Tell them the Sarkani stand ready to join their alliance." Similar scenes played out across the galaxy. The Aquarian Collective, the Denibian Republic, the free worlds of the Outer Rim, all reached out to humanity, offering support, requesting aid, sharing intelligence about Council weaknesses. Commander Sarah Chen stood in the Vigilant's meditation chamber, a space the architects had designed for communion between ship and crew. Through the neural link, she felt the ship's consciousness expand, reaching out across vast distances. "There are others," she whispered to Dr. Petrov, who had joined the crew as chief science officer. "The Vigilant isn't alone." The architects hid an entire fleet across the galaxy. Delina's eyes widened. "How many?" "Dozens, maybe hundreds. They're dormant, waiting for the right species to find them." Sarah touched the chamber's crystalline walls. The architects planned for this. They knew the Council would eventually become corrupt, so they left tools for younger races to overthrow them. General Harrison's voice came through the comm system. "Commander Chen, we need you in the war room. The Council is mobilizing their entire military force. This time, they're not just coming for Earth. They plan to make an example of us." The war room on Earth had become the center of a growing galactic alliance. Representatives from dozens of species worked alongside human strategists, sharing technology, coordinating resistance movements, planning for the inevitable confrontation. Ambassador Victoria Hayes addressed the assembled delegates. "The Council has ruled through fear for too long. They've suppressed technological advancement, exploited resources, and crushed any species that dared to question their authority. Today, that changes." A holographic map displayed the positions of newly awakened architect ships across the galaxy. Each one had bonded with a different species, creating a diverse fleet united by a common purpose. "The Vigilant has shown us the way," continued Admiral Walsh. "Each architect ship is unique, designed to complement the strengths of its operators. Together, we form something the Council never expected, a true alliance of equals." The Krell representative, one of the few who had defected from the Council, spoke up. "The Council's power comes from their control of hyperspace lanes and communication networks. If we can disrupt those, we can isolate their fleets," Sarah finished. "The Vigilant has the coordinates for every major hyperspace junction. With the other architect ships, we can lock down the entire network." Over the next months, the alliance grew stronger. Human engineers worked with alien scientists to upgrade their ships. Diplomat teams negotiated treaties and trade agreements. Military forces trained together, learning to coordinate despite vast cultural differences. The Council, meanwhile, grew increasingly desperate. Their attempts to crush individual resistance movements failed as the alliance provided support and protection. Their propaganda campaigns fell flat as more species witnessed the reality of human-alien cooperation. Finally, Prelate Zorkin gathered the largest fleet in Council history, over 10,000 ships from every loyal species. "We will crush this rebellion once and for all," he declared. "The humans and their pet artifacts will learn the price of defiance." The final battle took place in the Nexus system, where dozens of hyperspace lanes converged. The Council fleet emerged from jump points in perfect formation, their ships darkening the sky of the system's inhabited worlds. But they found the Alliance waiting for them. Architect ships from across the galaxy had gathered, each one unique, each one bonded with a different species. The Vigilant led them, its hull gleaming with power. Around these ancient vessels, thousands of allied ships stood ready, a patchwork fleet representing the diversity of the galaxy. Sarah Chen opened a channel to the Council fleet. "Prelate Zorkan, this is your last chance. Stand down and accept that your time is over. The galaxy chooses freedom." "Never," Zorkan roared. "The Council is eternal. Attack." The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia. Council ships advanced in waves, their weapons lighting up space with deadly energy. But the Alliance fought with a coordination the Council couldn't match. Architect ships wove through the battle, their ancient weapons devastating enemy formations while Allied vessels exploited every weakness. The turning point came when Sarah initiated a strategy the Vigilant had revealed: the Unity Protocol. Every Architect ship in the fleet linked their systems, creating a network of unimaginable power. Energy flowed between them, amplifying their capabilities exponentially. "Now," Sarah commanded. The linked Architect ships fired simultaneously. Beams of pure energy converged on the Council command ship, overwhelming its shields in an instant. The Supremacy disappeared in a flash of light, taking Prelate Zorkan with it. Leaderless and outmatched, the Council fleet began to fall apart. Some ships surrendered, their crews unwilling to die for a lost cause. Others fled, only to find their hyperspace routes blocked by Alliance forces. Within hours, the Council's military power was broken. In the aftermath, representatives from across the galaxy gathered on Earth. The United Galactic Alliance was formally established, with humanity as one of its founding members. The Council was dissolved, its remaining leadership tried for crimes against sentient species. Dr. Petrov stood with Sarah on the observation deck of the Vigilant, watching as construction crews worked on new shipyards in Earth orbit. "The Architects would be proud," she said. "We didn't just use their technology. We lived up to their vision." Sarah nodded. They knew that power alone wouldn't be enough. It took cooperation, understanding, the willingness to stand together against tyranny. "What's next?" Elena asked. "Exploration," Sarah replied with a smile. "The Architects left more than just warships. There are research stations, libraries, entire worlds waiting to be discovered. The Council kept the galaxy in stasis for 10,000 years. Now we can finally move forward." Below them, Earth turned slowly in space, no longer an isolated world, but the center of a new galactic community. Ships from 100 species came and went, carrying diplomats, traders, scientists, and explorers. The Vigilant pulsed gently, its consciousness content. It had fulfilled its purpose, helping to free the galaxy from oppression. Now it could serve a new role, guiding younger species toward a brighter future. As Sarah watched the stars, she felt the ship's thoughts touch her mind. This is not an ending, but a beginning. The galaxy awakens, and with it, infinite possibilities. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as liberators and friends. The ancient warship that had slept for 50,000 years had found its purpose, and in doing so, had helped humanity find theirs. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly as it should be.